This episode of The Hot Slice is sponsored by Uber Eats, helping restaurants unlock growth with flexible solutions. You can even use your own delivery staff. Sign up to start reaching more pizza lovers your way at ubereats.com/restaurants.
So designing your store with third-party delivery in mind. Whether you're building a store for the first time or duplicating for the 15th, if you haven't considered the equipment and layout to accommodate third-party delivery, you should. Our first model of Empire Slice House was built a few years before this really even became a thing. As I mentioned, it had just the one stack of Baker's Pride ovens, tiny make line, tiny kitchen. The amount of volume they were able to do out of there was just absolutely incredible. And I speak about that space because actually about in September of last year, we built a new Empire Slice House, which was the building you saw in the first slide that was up here, about 3 doors down from the original, and got a chance to kind of try to go back and fix some of these mistakes that we had made. But we're still using the to-go shop as our to-go service spot. I'm telling you those things because we are still figuring this out ourselves as everything continues to change, and it's going to keep changing, and we're going to have to keep adjusting. We're laying out a new Empire for a city that's not in Oklahoma City currently, and honestly, while I was researching for this, I started rethinking my layout again. Because the city that we're going to, I don't have an Easy E Slice shop next door, nor do I have the infrastructure in that city to go ahead and just open one. I gotta do the dine-in place first. That's our brand. So how do I start planning for the third-party delivery pickup there so that we can also grab those sales? I'll tell you one thing for sure. I'm gonna have 4 ovens this time, I know that. Maybe 6. I haven't really quite decided yet. Things to consider. Again, with pizza, number of ovens, how many pies do you think you'll need to kick out every hour? How long do they take to cook? How many can you fit at a time? These are things that we're just digging into, again, constantly. How do we go faster? How do we keep our quality the same or better? Designate an area for pickup. I mentioned the Starbucks issue that they kind of have. Chipotle actually created these little shelves where they're putting the bags on the shelf and you walk in and just pick up the one with your name on it. I imagine all that technology will continue to change. I've seen even these crazy shelf units that you set the bag on and it, in an LED screen, lights up the person's name that's on the order. Technology is wild. We actually struggle with that a little bit at the Slice Shop because we created one window. And that window is servicing quick service dine-in slices. It's also servicing the call-in to-go orders. It's servicing people walking in, placing to-go orders. It's also doing 25% of its sales in third-party delivery. And it's a little bit irritating when I walk in. I'm frustrated at myself because I'm standing there looking at this going, this guest is waiting because, you know, we're punching in an order or the tablets are constantly, you know, going off. And there's just that one window for pickup. So when we do build another Easy E Slice shop, I will definitely have a separate window for the pickups and orders, which I probably should have done in the beginning, but I didn't know what I was doing. Warming cabinets and shelving to hold all call-in, walk-in, and third-party delivery orders. We actually recently just added a second warmer at Easy E because we were getting so stacked up. One of the things that's a little bit difficult to deal with these drivers is that they're, as soon as the pie's done, it's not like they're just taking it immediately. We're holding these pies. We're holding the walk-in, call-in, all the to-go order pies, and it just wasn't enough space. So definitely be thinking about that as you're designing your store. Another thing that would be super helpful, and we were able to do this at Easy E, was to designate parking spaces for pickup. Other cooking equipment you may need for your high-volume items. For example, if you sell a ton of fried mozzarella, consider you'll probably sell 2 to 3 times as many when you have this, especially with appetizers, I feel like, because I don't know when you guys order, but I know when I order from an app, I order way too much. In fact, the studies are saying that people who are ordering from an app rather than calling in or walking in and placing an order, their check averages are double what they're spending, you know, versus them walking in or calling in and placing an order. And I can't decide if that's just like the pressure of standing there and people are waiting behind you and you're just trying to hurry, or you don't want them to see your face when you order 5 appetizers and 2 salads and you're just one person, and it's fine. Plenty of space for storing disposables needed for packaging your products. I can't tell you how many times I've had to ask my dad to come put up another shelf for all the boxes that we need. Packaging also becomes super important. We're starting to think about that as well. Sometimes these pizzas or food is sitting there, how long has it been finished? I know that's something we really worried about. In fact, it is something that you should give a lot of thought to